Yo, there's a spiritual war going on right now, and it's not a joke. It's not a mental illness. It's not a delusion. It's not a schizophrenic episode. What I'm telling you is true. I'm being targeted by Satanists, and they come like they don't come. They be watching me from wherever they at. And then most of them right now that are targeting me are Mexicans. Some of the neighbors that I have around me are Mexicans, and they deal with Satanism and stuff like that. They may be linked to the cartels and shit like that. They be doing Satanism and shit like that. I was just sitting right here in my couch, and I was thinking of something, and one of them interrupted my mental voice while I was speaking to myself, while I was saying whatever I was saying. I was saying, and I know it stopped. Like my mental voice got cut off. They be doing that shit to me a lot. And then I hear the fucking piece of shit from one of the houses around me and shit talking about, oh, it's the most fun I ever had. Messing with Julio's mental voice when he says stuff. Yo, you can hear him laughing right now, but yo, like that's the type of shit I'm going through right now. And they'll probably like come up with excuses that I'm the one who started it, blah blah blah. Yeah, they're liars and deceivers. That's what they do. They're liars and deceivers. They're Satanists. They worship the devil. You can hear voices in the background right now. That's why I ain't saying anything. I want you to hear some of the stuff I'm going through. So I'm gonna explain perfectly exactly how they be doing the type of stuff they be doing. So they've been studying me and shit, and since I like, imagining stuff and speaking from within, they were studying me and learning from me because they couldn't beat me and they still can't beat me. So what they did was they started studying like how I do things, how I beat them, what I do. So until the point now where they got a structure like it's a structure like Mexicans are going to war against Americans and not only Mexicans, Freemasons too. Anyways, so they go within and they imagine like or they'll speak out like, "Oh, I want a time machine," and you know what I'm saying. And in the imagination, when you speak or when you think about things like this, it happens. It's not like here that you got to create something. You know what I'm talking about, especially something that doesn't really, what I'm saying, exist like a time machine. So within, they'll go, "I want a time. Let's imagine a time machine," and they'll imagine a time machine and they'll be like inside in the imagination or in the spirit world and all of that shit. And because that's where they meet up and shit. The Mexicans, they have a brotherhood, sort of say, you know what I'm saying. And they go within and they'll start like preparing for anything, any scenario about me and shit like that. Like they'll prepare like if I do a certain things, like if I'm a delete certain things that they do to me, they'll go and say, "Oh, we have an deletion ready." Whenever he says delete, it won't work because we got an anti-delete and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So they'll prepare for stuff that I do ahead of time, and then they'll go and do it like in the movie with Kang the Conqueror from the Marvel comics and stuff. That he created like a tent pad, and he had certain things like prepared ahead of time. And then when Loki and stuff like that, like they tried to hit him, he would move out the way because the thing was already prepared for those type of scenarios to happen. You know what I'm saying? When it was about to happen, he would, so they would literally would go and prepare ahead of time. They literally go and imagine themselves going in like through time. They can't go past me. I'm the future. I'm literally the present. Like they can't see past me. There is no future. You know what I'm saying? I'm anyways, so they go like, and imagine themselves going through time and shit like that, and like studying my past, who I am, and they'll go as far as like sending like Ultron and characters after me. Those are things that I used to do to them, and they started doing it to me. But I was doing it to defend myself against their vast numbers. They literally would come at me with, on with bunches. Like I think it was like 500,000 of them that came at me spiritually once, and I killed them all. After that, they started studying me and stuff like that. That little fuck up right there in my speeches, because I said something relative to them. And anyways, so they started studying me and how I am and how I do things and stuff like that, because they're into Satanism, spying on people and doing witchcraft, and spying on, like in my case they were spying on my mind and shit. Like whenever I said anything in my mind and stuff like that, they would go and write it down and strategize and come up with ways to counter what I do and stuff like that. Like when I put them in binds and like put them in holes and grab all of them and stuff. I do stuff to them and stuff. Like they'll come up with any little way that they could to escape from what I put them through. And it's not only Mexicans in this. There's also white people. There's like Puerto Ricans, some blacks. So it's not only Mexicans, but the ones messing with me the most right now is Mexicans. Well, actually, Freemasons are the ones messing with me. But the Mexicans around me are serving as influence for Freemasons to mess with me. You know what I'm talking about? So like they'll send like characters after me, like Ultron. And Ultron, if you don't know, is like a robot from the comics. And he could, as robots and AIs and shit like that, they could do multiple functions at the same time. Run like multiple things at the same time. So they'll act like if they have like Ultron within, and they come at me and they're doing multiple things, you know what I'm saying, and reading my mind and predicting what I'm about to say, and predicting my brain patterns and shit like that, and calculating like certain possible outcomes that I may go into, and the moment I think about things, they're right there, trying to counter whatever I'm doing or whatever I'm saying, and trying to suppress my brain thoughts and keep me at a certain thinking level and stuff like that. Like, yo, they're coming at me with these satanic, sadistic ways, like really, really sadistic. And they're on the side of negativity, like they're bad. They're bad. And I'm not saying all Mexicans are bad, but as I heard, all of them are part of this brotherhood. So they use the strength of a lot of individuals to come at me. But because I'm so strong and so powerful, no joke, no lie, I be like dismantling them. I be destroying them. So what I'm saying, what they do is they go and copy my moves and do it against me, and like study what I do and try to become better from me, from studying me, like some real petty shit. Like I told you, I was just sitting in my couch and I'm thinking stuff, you know what I'm saying? And out of nowhere, they start messing with my mental voice and shit like that. And then he goes, "This is the most fun I ever had messing with Julio's mental voice when he says things." And yo, that's the type of petty shit they're into. Like, cause I don't do that type of shit. Like, I don't be messing with people like the way they do it. I go after people that really deserve to be punished, the bad ones. And I do have enemies, because, and of course, I invited this to happen. I invited this to happen so I can expose them to you, so you could know what they're doing, so we could start the real war. The real war. Because these fucking cowards, they like to hide and strike from the shadows, just like devils. I call them devils. That's what I call them. And because I call them devils, the more I call them devils, they act like devils, like petty. They're, you know what I'm saying, deceitful. They like to lie, play tricks, you know what I'm saying, this and that and stuff like that. Like, good people could do it too, But when a good person does it, you know what I'm saying, it's not really the way they do it. I don't do it the way like they do it. I don't go and mess with good people and ruin people's lives and shit like that and spy on people. Like I be minding my business, you know what I'm talking about? So like anyways, I know about this stuff because I'm on the side of the real truth. And because I'm on the side of the real truth, like my thing is about knowing. So they started copying the knowing and they wanted to know everything, but through tricks, lies, and deceptions, mockery, as a mockery way. You know what I'm talking about? Because they're not supposed to know it. Satan is supposed to be dumb and stupid. But, they have a lot of like different things, aspects to their Satanist ways, like cheating. You know what I'm talking about? So they use cheating as a way to overcome the not knowing part. You see what I'm talking about? Or mockery, ignorance, being hypocrites and stuff like that. So they go above those levels, and it's because I've been talking about it too. So they've heard me like, and they were like, "Oh, so we could cheat and we could just go and do it and stuff like that." So and they started evolving, and I don't mind that because I'm evolving them to a point of deletion. Right now they're messing with me, yes, but I know exactly what I'm doing. Anyways, there be times where I'm making this video and I tell you exactly when they're messing with me. So it's not like, I don't have to explain everything to you. Like you people already know what it is. I don't have to explain much to you. I make these videos as, ways for me to have solid, documentation of what I'm going through, because this is real. This is not a joke. Like indirect energy manipulation is real. That shit is real, real, real. Like they go within. It's like when you're watching someone. I gave this example before. Imagine you watching someone, right? And this person doesn't know that you're watching them, and you start to speak negativity into this person's life, and the stuff that you speak into their life starts to manifest. You see what I'm talking about? So, and that's like part of how witchcraft and Satanism works. Watching someone from the shadows or from far or whatever and affecting their life without them knowing it. And then the fucking, like, you know what I'm saying? They go into the level of trickery that they're into is, we have to get rid of them. We have to, I mean, it will happen. But I'm telling you now, like, we gotta get rid of them because they're not stopping. They're really at war with Americans. They hate Americans, whether they hate whoever is not Mexican and part of their brotherhood. Whoever is not a part of it, trust me, they fucking hate you. Doesn't matter how much of a friend they are with you, how bright their smile is when they see you and stuff like that. How much of family man, they may be into working man or whatever. Like these Mexicans hate us. They fucking hate us. They hate the rest of the world. And I mean hate, hate, hate. I mean, look at the way Mexicans live, killing each other, the cartels and shit like that, massacring each other and shit like that. Like they hate each other. So imagine their hate for us. You know what I'm talking about? Mexico's fucked up. Mexico is destroyed. They fucking never wanted to fix Mexico. Never. So they come over here and mess with us. You know what I'm talking about? They're fucking bad. They're in the side of Satanism. That's why they be having the statues and the death statues with the scythe and shit like that. And the white ones and the red ones and the blue ones and shit. Like they have different ones and they have the collars and they be doing like I told you, indirect energy manipulation. And some of them may go as far as lying to you, saying, "Oh, I do it to defend myself," blah, but they never go and explain from what, from who, how. You see what I'm talking about? So they be playing with like spiritualism, um, witchcraft. They be doing whatever is part of the Satanism They not that they do everything, but they do parts of it. They like, most of it, it runs through lies. All of it is if not most of it comes through lies, is because they're liars and deceivers. But they use confusion, distractions, character assassination, sabotage. So like when there's a lot of people that know about this stuff, like not that they're a part of it, but they know about this stuff, that they do stuff like that. Not just Mexicans, but whoever does it. And when you catch somebody doing satanic shit to you, whether it's lying or messing with your spirit, with your mind and shit like that, and you go up to them and you say it to their face, they're trying to focus on shit, on something else, is distraction. Like I told you, they're doing it right now as a way to mock, because I said it. So when you catch a Satanist and you say it to their face and shit, and they go and start lying and shit, like, I don't know what you're talking about or whatever, and then they go as far as saying that you're the one doing it. They try to make it seem like if you're the one fucking with them and not you, it's you're the one doing this, or they'll go, and try to fight you and shit like that. Like, they're Satanists, there's a lot of these everywhere. Some are Satanists, and others are just really bad people who act like Satanists, and they're in the same thing, but one of them knows it and the other one don't. You know what I'm saying? Satanists are sadistic. They're bad. They're fucking, what I'm saying, the worst types of individuals that you could come across, whether they look like happy people or not. You see, they're doing it right now. They're trying to put emphasis on my penis, on my dick. You see? They want you to know. They want you to find out what they're doing. Once I got everyone on the same page physically, on the physical level, because like they're trying to stab my left eye right now with a pin. So once I got everyone on the physical life on the same page about them, because America has to run a ban on Mexicans. All Mexicans got to get kicked out of the United States. All of them. They all got to go. We got to, and after that, we got to go and come up with a plan to eliminate all of the Satanists. All of them. They all got to get eliminated. So yeah, like Trump's plan about building a wall to keep Mexicans, it was a valid plan. You know what I'm saying? But they made Trump look like some type of racist. Like if he just hates all Mexicans and shit. Like I see why he wants a war on Mexico. Now they're acting like if they're stabbing me in my tongue and shit like that. But when they do it to me, I created my own ways of defending myself. So they do it, but it affects them. Those are ways that I defended myself, because I know they're gonna try to do stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? Try to hurt me indirectly and stuff like this. So I already defended myself. Anyways, so what you call it? So yeah, they hate me because I'm exposing them. It's probably the one that said, "Oh, this is the most fun I ever had messing with Julio." You know what I'm saying? That fucking piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta get rid of all the Mexicans. Getting rid of them is most likely the best option that we have, because Mexicans are fucking hateful. Look at LA. LA is, it was fucked up, and it was mainly because of the Mexicans. Mexicans fucked it up. Everywhere there's a lot of Mexicans, it feels down and dirty. Like, like there's no progression and shit like that. Like, it just feels like that when there's too many Mexicans around. You know what I'm saying? Plus, whenever you see a Mexican, not to be racist, this is reality. I'm being realistic. You just get this. Most people, I get this sensation like they're bad, like they just satanic, they have the negative energy with them, like, you know what I'm saying, they just don't want to progress and catch up with the times and shit like that. Like, I just get this negative vibe when I see certain sometimes I see Mexican families and it's not like that. But most Mexicans that I see, it's like I get this negative vibe from, and yo, this is coming from someone who used to love Mexicans. I used to love Mexicans, so don't you know, don't go try twisting shit. But Mexicans are mostly into Satanism. You know what I'm saying? And so what you gonna call it? I wanted to make this video because I heard Dickhead over here talking about this is the most fun I ever had messing with Julio's mental voice and shit, and I'm over here minding my business. Like, he's probably someone I never met. Most likely someone I never fucking met. Someone I fucking, I'm saying, that I never did anything bad to. But because I had a disagreement with one of my neighbors next door, and I was talking about, I wasn't even, that mad at Mexicans when that. My hate for Mexicans came from, from them messing with me through Satanism, because they do it constantly. But anyways, I had a disagreement with one of my neighbors, and I was telling him how Freemasons are bad and we got to get rid of them. They have a lot of influence within the government. They're the enemy, this and that. And he started to act like the enemy, like he was defending them. Like, no, just leave it alone. They'll deal with it. It'll go away, stuff like that. And I'm there like, what the fuck? I'm over here telling you the truth, and you there like, trying to pacify me and shit. Anyways, after that day, everything just started going down. Like, he started like to recruit his Mexicans, Mexican people and shit like that. And these, like, yo, literally, they got Mexico against me. Literally, though, like most most of the Mexicans in Mexico are against me. Like, literally, they lend themselves their energies to mess with me. I told you, they came at me like 500,000 of them and shit like that. 250,000 of them came at me on the highway. I was, and it all started because a Mexican tried to cut me off in the highway. I was about to merge in the left lane, and there was enough space for me to merge, like more than enough. And he tried to come from all the way back here to cut me off. Like, he was racing to try to cut me off. And he did that shit on purpose. He wanted to piss me off. So I was about to merge slowly. And then he tried like, before I started to merge, he knew that I wanted to merge and shit, like to the left lane. And he wanted to mess with my head and shit, and fuck with my emotions and shit. Fuck with, my day and shit. So the moment I started to merge in, like, he just tried to like, and I was like, oh shit, he's about to try to cut me off. I already recognized what was going on. So I merged in faster, and then he just stopped behind me like, fuck, I couldn't do it. So I just, I cut him off, and then I went on the left lane, and then, I'm over here like, damn, I see this fucking piece of shit try to cut me. It's the type of shit that you would say after someone, does some shit like that. A Satanist does some shit like that. And then he calls his people. And then they start attacking me spiritually through their imagination. They fucked up. They fucked up because they attacked me with imaginary versions of themselves. They let themselves be seen. So I was just chopping heads off, moving out the way, and I was demolishing them. 500,000 of them. Think about it. I was just running through them. They was trying to cut my head off, trying to like put my head on a fucking board and just chop it off. I would move out the way and do it to them. Like, I was fucking them up. I ended up like, because I told you, like, they be calling like fake characters to mess with me and shit like that. And they got it from me. They got it from that day that I did it to them. I called on John Wick. I called the X-Men. They came and fucking wiped these motherfuckers out. When I was getting tired of dealing with you just killing them, because they were just coming at me one after another, 2, 3, just, and I'm just running through them, like just chopping them up, just fucking them up all over the place. And then I called the X-Men and they fucked them up. They fucked them up. They fucking demolished them. I just kept driving like, they got it. And then when they tried to come at me again, I called John Wick and stuff like that. And while John Wick was popping heads off and shit, I was doing my thing on the side. I was chopping heads off too and all of that. So like, Ever since that day, they were like, yo, he called on John Wick. I want that. And they went and started using characters on me. Because they wasn't really up on game like that on like Satanism. They wasn't as bad as they are now with Satanism. But they started studying me, how I do things, how I make things happen, how I speak certain things and make it happen. So now they're saying things and making them, they were saying things and making them happen. I've been, getting rid of them and stuff like that. They were fighting back. Like they're very consistent. I tell you that they're very consistent, but they're not more powerful than me. Anyways, I'm about to end this video soon. Um, the truth is God, and God is the truth. I'm on the side of goodness. I represent the real truth. And what you call it? They're liars and deceivers, Satanists, you know what I'm saying? They're on the side of the devil, hiding, striking from the shadows, or the whole fucking petty shit that you would think of. Arrogance, thinking, oh, he's nothing. Like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they're fucking complete pieces of shit. Like I told you before, it ain't only Mexicans. And there are some Mexicans out that I've met that were cool, but most Mexicans do Satanism. Even the ones that I met most likely do Satanism, no matter how cool they are. So with that, I'm gonna just end this video. Keep following my videos, yo, and spread the message. Get people to watch my videos, because as you can see, I only get like 6, 7 views, 10, whatever. Like we need more people on board to watch my videos and learn from my experiences, from what I'm telling you, and so we could unite against the enemy. All right.